Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Two Naxalites, it's a big development, this, which has happened here on Times Now. And we are going to unearth the various angles that come to the fore as far as this entire saga of the murder of senior journalist Gauri Lankesh is concerned. Times Now has got access to information which gives us reasons to believe that there are multiple reasons why Gauri Lankesh could have been murdered. Gauri Lankesh's gruesome murder shocking the entire country. The act is condemnable. No life should be taken away, no voice should be smothered. 33 CCTV camera footages have been taken under the ambit of the investigation. The most critical being the 4 cameras placed outside her residence and 2 cameras right opposite her residence. Now here's what the entire footage reveals in terms of the timeline and the entire sequence of events. 8 p.m. is when this entire incident happened, just around 8 p.m. Gauri Lankesh's car arrives. This is a representation of what actually happened right outside her residence. The car arrives. She opens the second half of the gate. She comes out of the car, walks towards the residence gate. The killer calls her from behind, first firing at the torso. She takes a few steps. The second bullet misses her. The third hits her abdomen, and that's when she falls to the ground. There is one more shot registered to the chest. The killer is seen wearing a bag. There is a lady from the opposite side of the apartment who witnesses this, comes out after hearing the shots. 2 guys on a scooter are seen with helmets on, and one guy, one of the killer, makes his way off in a bike. This is the information that we have. This is what happened to Gauri Lankesh late last evening at around 8 p.m. But while everyone joined the condemnation, here's what Congress President Rahul Gandhi's official Twitter handle posted. Rahul Gandhi has already decided it is the right wing that claimed Gauri Lankesh. In the same breath, in the series of 3 tweets posted on his official Twitter handle, he urges the Karnataka Chief Minister for a thorough probe. Now, isn't he directly influencing the probe? Isn't he pushing a prejudiced narrative?
Narendra Dabolkar, killed in 2013. Govind Pansare, killed in 2015. M.M. Kalburgi, killed in 2015. And now Gauri Lankesh, another freethinker silenced by unknown assailants.
The SIT, just the name is different, but the cadre will be the same. And the capability and the ability of the cadre is not being questioned, but the intent of the government. And once again, what we get to see is hesitation to give it over to the CBI. In this particular case, it is a lot more sensitive. The family has in clear terms asked for a CBI probe. There perhaps was better thinking expected of the government, of the Chief Minister. Remains to be seen how he will convince the family now.
The state has set up an SIT to nab the assailants.
ಗೌರಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಕಾರ್ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಗೇಟು ಅವರ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಗೇಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ತೆಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಗೇಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಳೆ. ಅವಳು ಹೋದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಬಂದು ಅವಳು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅವನು ಹೆಲ್ಮೆಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. 4 ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾಗಳಿದ್ದು ಅವ್ರ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಗೌರಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾಗಳಿದ್ದು.
The case hinges on CCTV visuals that have captured the killers.
CCTV footage recovered from our house because there are 4 CCTV installed in Gauri Lankesh's house, but 2 were not in a very visible, nothing visible was there, and 1 was it, and the police from that area to her office, they're looking at all CCTV footage. The CCTV footage what we got shows some movements of the vehicles, shows some movements of the 2-wheelers, so they are detecting all this thing to build up a case now.
But while the probe carries on, politics has already begun. The Congress Vice President first off the block to blame the BJP, even before the investigation could conclude.
People say that the Prime Minister is quiet and the Prime Minister has not said anything. The point is that the entire ideology is this. The entire ideology is to silence voices. So sometimes the Prime Minister feels कि भाई pressure बहुत हो गया तो मैं कुछ कह देता हूँ. But the entire idea is to crush dissent.
The party echoed the sentiments of the Gandhi scion.
Why is it that free thinkers, dissenters, critics, vociferous critics were not singled out as victims from 2004 to 2014? Free thinkers and dissenters are singled out for murder only after 2014.
The BJP hit back, claiming it was a Congress government in the state that should be held accountable.
ये बेबुनियाद और झूठा आरोप है. हमारा गौरी लंकेश के इस घटना के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, भारत सरकार का, हमारे किसी संगठन का कोई संबंध नहीं है. हम इसका निषेध करते हैं और मैं ये मानता हूं कि कर्नाटक में कानून व्यवस्था मेंटेन करने की जिम्मेदारी कर्नाटक सरकार की है.
While Rahul Gandhi points fingers at BJP and RSS, it is under his party's watch that some independent voices were targeted. So, can he really pass the buck now? Bureau Report, Times Now. Tonight, the debate on the Newshour at 10. Rahul prejudicing probe?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
We say good evening to our panelists this evening. GVL Narasimha Rao, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Vinod Sharma, a senior journalist with us from our Noida studio. Dr. Geeta Bhatt, academician of the University of Delhi. Good evening, Dr. Geeta Bhatt. Dr. Fuad Aleem, good evening, sir. Joining us from Kolkata, spokesperson of the CPIM. Alimuddin Khan, political analyst, joins us from Delhi. CM Dhananjaya, chairman of the Legal Cell Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee, joins us. And we also have Ghanshyam Tiwari, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the debate, there are two aspects which I would like to speak about. There are multiple angles to this murder of Gauri Lankesh. The question that I would like to ask is, has Mr. Rahul Gandhi ignored all the angles just to pick the one that suits his narrative? Now, who is behind the incident and whether it is Naxalites or any other ideological fringe, the ultra-left possibility is someone is being highlighted by the Karnataka Home Minister. Ramalinga Reddy has come out and spoken about this. A senior Congress leader of the Karnataka state has come out and talked about Naxalites. He has not mentioned RSS and BJP. He's talked about whether it is Naxalites or Maoists. But Rahul Gandhi did not listen to that, or perhaps decided that doesn't fit my narrative. And to further establish this angle, we've got more news coming through. Let's play that out. And here is the truth that stands out. This is the twist to Gauri Lankesh's murder. There is an ultra-left angle which is also prominent and perhaps number one on this list, because there is a reformer reality about Gauri Lankesh which did not go down well with the ultra-left hardliners. She had reformed two Maoists sometime last year, and when she tried to bring them to the mainstream, they had said, "We will see that you get a befitting end." One of those ultra-left leaders was very, very upset and had promised vengeance. Deepak Bopanna joins us with more, and we have sources within the police, and the police confirm this. Deepak.
Very interesting twist that's coming in here, Anand. While there are several speculations and several questions that are being raised about what could have been the reason for her killing, now this entire detail, of course, which is not new to several analysts even today in our studios, that she did have connections with Maoists and Naxals. And we should understand here, as you mentioned, last year it was two people, interestingly, Noor Zulfikar, he was also called as Noor Sridhar, and another person, of course, she brought to the mainstream. They did surrender, but what happened during that time is that there was yet another faction of Naxals in the Chikmagalur belt who completely stood against it, who protested against it. There was a lot of outcry at that point in time. Now, it's said after this, while, of course, the two did manage to secure bail, they did go on to say that they're going to turn activists. At that point in time, it said that they were getting threats. And even Gauri Lankesh somewhere did identify that there was some sort of movement happening within the Naxals itself. It's not very clear why she did not approach the police for protection. Now, but we are also made to believe that the CCTVs as well were brought in because she had concerns regarding all of this and the work that she was carrying out.
Yes.
So at the back of all this, there is in fact a growing suspicion now that the Maoist link in fact could be true. And also we should understand today, there were two people who were taken in for questioning for posting celebratory messages, for posting hate messages on social media against Gauri Lankesh moments after her death, and this too comes in the Chikmagaluru belt. So when you look at all of this, and also the recent tweets that she put up, it somewhere draws some sort of pattern. But at this point in time, as the police have mentioned, the investigation is quite open, and they're looking at all angles.
Yes, so they are looking at multiple angles. There is the angle of the ultra left that now comes to the fore. There is the angle of the fact that there were some serious investigative pieces about the Karnataka government that she was ready to unleash, which could have posed a serious challenge to the already dented and sagging image of the Karnataka government under leadership of Siddaramaiah. There is also the family feud angle and the monetary issues angle. And there is the issue of her stated position against right-wing radicals. But why is it that only one particular narrative was picked up and pushed right through? And that too, ladies and gentlemen, as you join us using the Twitter handle Lankesh Murdered or on www.involve.in, the question we are asking is, why is Rahul Gandhi and the others wanting to prejudice the probe, influence the probe? GVL Narasimha Rao, we have to tell our viewers that we were one of the first channels to also state here very explicitly that Gauri Lankesh had been convicted on defamation charges and been served a sentence of 6 months, handed a sentence of 6 months in jail with 10,000 rupees fine for her statements against the BJP. So we are also doing our responsibility by highlighting the ultra-left angle so that there is no prejudice on the probe. GVL Narasimha Rao.
No, Anand, the case that you are referring to, she made some charges of corruption against some of our leaders way back in 2008, and they exercised their democratic right to drag her to the court, and the court found her charges to be unsustainable, and therefore she was convicted. I think she paid a price legally for having made defamatory charges against our
Narasimha Rao,
leaders.
none of the left liberals came out and spoke about that. None of the left liberals came out and said, they just said that because she had a stated position against right-wing radicals, they are the one who have gunned her down. Look at what Rahul Gandhi said. RSS and BJP, whoever raises their voice against them, they get killed.
I know Rahul. But Anand, there is a complete conspiracy here. On August 30, 2015, Kalburgi was killed. Congress went all around the world talking about Professor Kalburgi's killing in Karnataka, a state where they are supposed to maintain law and order. In the last 2 years, 2 months, they have not been able to arrest one person. An SIT had been constituted. Not one arrest could be made so far. That shows their incompetence. And today they start another SIT, and the Home Minister says this case also seems to be similar to that of Kalburgi. So is he also saying this SIT will find nothing? I think I begin to wonder, is this a pure incompetence of Rahul Gandhi's party, like his own political incompetence, or is this a case of complicity of not finding killers, or worse still, is this a conspiracy to kill people in your own state and start blaming somebody else?
CM Dhananjaya, take that, sir.
Killed in Karnataka. Only yesterday, Supreme Court, no less than the Supreme Court, passed strictures. Supreme Court passed strictures against Karnataka government yesterday for a shoddy investigation into the death of a IPS officer, a deputy superintendent of police, who apparently killed himself. But the entire investigation has been botched up. Some of the Congress leaders, including the former Home Minister, who is currently a minister in Siddaramaiah government, he is one of the accused in the case. So is this a cover-up in Kalburgi case, or is this a conspiracy? I think when Rahul Gandhi makes such statements, I think I begin to wonder, is this a part of a larger sinister complicity? And also in opposition rule states, all
GVL,
the
let
deaths
CM
happen.
Dhananjaya take that.
In Uttar Pradesh, 3 journalists were killed in 1 year.
See,
in 2015, in 3 months.
I request him to not to politicize the issue. Let him.
You are requesting him not to politicize the issue.
And the
GVL Narasimha Rao. GVL Narasimha Rao.
No, you asked me to
GVL Narasimha Rao. Mr. CM Dhananjaya is asking you. Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, Mr. CM Dhananjaya is asking you not to politicize the issue. I am not sure whether he heard what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said in the morning or what he has tweeted.
If at all he says about the talk about the Karnataka,
but Mr. CM Dhananjaya, go ahead, please.
What about in Maharashtra? What about in the Maharashtra?
Give this wisdom
the Maharashtra
to Rahul Gandhi.
government, there is an...
CM Dhananjaya, yeah, go ahead.
See, in the Maharashtra government, you know very clearly, Narendra...
Govind Pansare was killed when your party was in power in Maharashtra.
As well as the Govind Pansare were also shot dead in a similar manner. What happened to them? The CBI's investigation is going on. What they're doing for 3 years? From there was the incidents has taken place on 2013 and 2015 in Maharashtra. What happened to that? They gave it to the CBI. What they have done?
In the case of Govind Pansare,
let him not politicalize the issue. I request him
you are in complicity.
You are giving to the CBI these cases. What happened? The CBI under the central government. What they have done? Do you mean they investigated? Do you mean they had any case? Do you mean they arrested anybody?
Now the fact is,
whereas in our government, immediately we are
who has
appointed
your government? Who did your government arrest? Who did your government arrest, Mr. CM Dhananjaya? Be it an IAS officer, be it the death of an IPS officer, or the death of rationalists, or the death of journalists.
What arrest have you made in 2 years?
2013 is taken a place, and that handed over to the CBI. What they are doing? My question is, what they are doing?
Your question is to the CBI now. What is the CBI doing?
What have you done in Kalburgi? Talk about your state.
Can him to answer to that?
Apologize
to the Congress and the BJP. To the Congress and the BJP spokesperson.
Trying to defame the country.
Please. Now this
is the world.
My point is, please calm down. I'm just opening this up to our other panelists who've been listening to the Congress
what
and the
happened
BJP.
to Narendra?
Wait a minute.
What happened to Gopal?
Mr. CM Dhananjaya.
Pansikar. Because this incident has taken a place in Maharashtra and this was handed over to the CBI from a past 3 years. What they're doing? They're keeping quiet. They're not arrested a single person. Whereas the moment we are taken up, we are handed over to the SIT. We formed a special investigation team. Definitely we'll find.
Yeah, you know, sir.
But what have you done?
Gauri Lankesh, GVL Narasimha Rao, please, as I open up the panelists. Now listen to this, sir. Listen to this. Listen to this. Mr. CM Dhananjaya, close to 24 hours, 22 hours actually, 22 hours after she was murdered, the government puts out a list of people who will probe the murder. 22 hours later, you have been able to decide the constitution of your SIT. 22 hours later.
No, meanwhile,
somebody, this is in the case of somebody who your own chief minister said was a good friend. Was a good friend. No, was a good friend. So please, Lord, don't get me started. Don't get me started on the urgency that you're showing or the interest or the keenness that you're showing to get to the bottom of it.
It was taken over by the SIT.
The other aspect, let me tell you, sir. Let me tell you, sir. It's a long list. It is a long list under the Congress rule and under Siddaramaia's rule of people who have been neutralized. Of people who have been neutralized for speaking their mind and for speaking up. So, Mr. CM Dhananjaya, before you shout your lungs out, you please think very rationally, because every word you say will go against you too, sir. I'm opening this up tonight because my point is, as I open it up to Dr. Geeta Bhatt and Mr. Vinod Sharma, why does it have to become about an ideological narrative? A journalist has been murdered. A life has been snuffed. Somebody has been killed in cold blood under a government whose responsibility is law and order. Why can't it be looked at objectively? Why is it that the left liberals, the leftists, the Congress comes out and blames the right comes out and says, you did it? Why is it, Mr. Vinod Sharma?
Well, quite obviously, she has been killed for the idea that she stood for, even if it was the radical left or it was the radical right. She perhaps upset some people on the Naxalite front by reforming some of their colleagues. And her latest column, which you have failed to mention, Anand, was about fake news, and where there were specific mentions to the ultra-right. But the unfortunate bit is that I think
the mention was to her comrades. I don't think ultra-right ever uses comrades.
No, ultra-right. No, please. I'm talking about the column that got published.
No, I'm talking. Sorry, I was talking about the tweets where she again mentioned fake news.
No, it would have done you well if had you read that column.
No, I have read the column, sir. I have read the column, but I have also read the tweet. Like I said, sir, I'm not being selective. We were the first channel. We were the first channel to put out the fact that she was convicted in the case where she took on the BJP.
I quite appreciate the fact.
Yes, sir. So we are not taking sides. For us, it's a life snuffed out. A journalist has been killed.
Yes, that's the point for you and me. Because, you know, you may have a point of view, you may have a world view which may differ from mine.
Exactly.
So there can be a cerebral combat between you and me, but there cannot be a gun injected in the conflict of ideas, which has been happening very, very rampantly in this country across states ruled by different political parties. We as journalists, I personally feel, should not get caught in this political battle of the right and the left. We have to find out what is right. We have to ensure that as variegated an opinion exists in this country as possible. You see, how is India different from other democracies? We are different from other democracies that you name an ideology and you have it in this country, like the name of fruit and you have it in this country. So I think that, you know, it is very, very upsetting for me for the Congress to be taking a position accusing, you know, an ideology opposed to them, and the BJP taking a position you know, talking back at the Congress, and in the process we lose the narrative. You see, the whole focus today should be to ensure that the police investigations are on the right track.
Yes.
If the center can help the state, if the state can cooperate with the center, why can't these two entities work together to get at the truth of it?
That's a very rational question, sir, but the logical answer to that should have come from the Congress president. Please ask the question of the Congress president too, Congress vice president too, beg your pardon, soon to be president. That's what many say. Alimuddin Khan would also say. GVL Narasimha Rao wants to intervene, then Dr. Geeta Bhatt and Alimuddin Khan. Yes, GVL Narasimha Rao, quickly.
Just one quick comment.
Ghanshyam Tiwari coming to you, sir.
One quick question. No, I want to ask.
Khasa, please, one by one. Yeah.
A mindless act of violence, just one quick line. A mindless act of violence, I think it has to be condemned by one and all. And I'm sure every journalist must really be feeling very unsafe when you have someone snuffed out like this. But I want to ask Mr. Vinod Sharma, is the Press Club of India, is it a platform for some political parties?
By the fundamental forces like you, Mr.
Is the Press Club of India, should it be used as a political platform by political parties? I think, why are some political leaders present at these events today? Are they acting as a wing of the Congress party or the opposition? I think we certainly...
Mr. Vinod Sharma, please take that question, sir. It's directed at you.
But why is it being used today?
Alimuddin Khan, please wait.
Organized by the Press Club
let's sort this out, sir. Let's sort this out.
Hijacked by the opposition leaders.
Nobody,
yes.
Mr. Narasimha Rao, please, for the God's sake, I am not an office bearer of the Press Club of India.
Why was this used as a political platform?
Boss, I am not an office bearer of the Press Club of India.
No,
I can't speak on their behalf.
Journalist.
You have so many of your friends there. Why are you? This is a point to be raised
speak
here.
As a journalist.
Yes, as a journalist, I would not like to be associated with any political party on the question of a murder of a journalist.
No, but you can't excuse yourself. My request to you is, please take a position as a journalist.
I said,
should press institutions be used by political
That was something which he said at the outset. Allow me this intervention. GVL Narasimha Rao, Mr. Vinod Sharma said that press should not get involved. But the fact is that there are people who are getting involved and getting influenced. And that's the reality. And that's why if one particular narrative is pushed, we have to highlight the other angles that are possible and clear the people that let's not make a pass a judgment before the proof is out. And if somebody has a proof, let them press.
No, Anand, can I make a point?
Yes,
Anand, can I make a point here?
Yes, sir.
You see, I think that if the press is going to sit and prejudge the police investigations this way or that way. If political parties are going to sit and prejudge political positions this way and that way, Mr. Rahul Gandhi quite obviously has spoken out of turn. But there have been a number of such instances happening on the other side of the political divide. Mr. Narasimha Rao knows it. I also know it. Everybody knows it. I don't want to turn this into a partisan debate. This should remain a bipartisan debate in defense of the freedom of speech and freedom of the press. We want a free press in this country, and that should be ensured by the opposition and the ruling party, be it the state or at the center.
Yeah. Sir, now there are viewers who are coming in. Dr. Geeta, but as I bring you in, and then we'll go to Alimuddin Khan, Fuad Aleem and Ghanshyam Tiwari. Thank you for your patience to our panelists. Just one of our viewers has just written in and he said, when something happens in a BJP state, the Chief Minister is blamed. When it happens in a Congress state, the Prime Minister is blamed. What's the logic? This is the question. Alimuddin Khan, Congress killed Gauri and now blaming BJP for winning the election. Alimuddin Khan, the questions are directed towards the Congress party. We'll take that after we listen to what Dr. Geeta Bhatt has to say. Yes, Dr. Geeta Bhatt. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, well, Mr. Sharma just talked about the freedom of press, and as we all understand that it is very important for a democracy, as it is the fourth pillar or the fourth institution, you know, which is keeping a watch over the judiciary, the legislative and the executive. In this particular case, this horrendous murder which has taken place, there are few things which have already been highlighted, and I would just like to do a quick recap of them. One important aspect is that there is also it has also been reported in newspapers that there has been a kind of a family feud between the the brother and sister, Gauri Lankesh and her brother, which was even reported in the newspaper, where they had even gone to the extent of filing police complaints in the police station. And the brother Indrajit had even reported that her pro-Naxal approach, this is something which the newspaper does not agree to. So besides this, another point which has been talked about is what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has stated. What I would like to say in this is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi in Bihar also in 2016, May 2016, Ranjan Rajdev, Daily Hindustan Chief Bureau journalist, he was killed at that time, and they were very much part of the Bihar government that time, but there was no objection which was raised by Mr. Mahmood. He's been very selective in pointing and very prematurely pointing fingers on people and on organizations while there is no proof of it.
Yes, fair point made, and I just want to put out the multiple angles which you talked about, Dr. Geeta Bhatt. There are 4 or 5 different angles that come to the fore. The ultra-left angle that stands out today. The question is, did Mr. Rahul Gandhi not bother to think about this angle? The hardline Maoists who could have silenced a reformer who wanted to bring Maoists into the mainstream, back into the mainstream. Family feud and the monetary dispute that could come into play. Gauri Lankesh was planning a mega expose on the Karnataka government and pro-government businessmen. The first question many people asked is, whose narrative does it fit? Who does it suit to have somebody like Gauri Lankesh murdered at this point and point the fingers at the other side, which is angle number 4, a criticism of Hindutva politics and the caste system and some of the right-wing extreme and hardliners. So these are the multiple angles that come to the fore. Ghanshyam Tiwari, Fuad Aleem, Dr. Fuad Aleem and Alimuddin Khan. Ghanshyam Tiwari first and then to Dr. Fuad Aleem.
Anand, first and foremost, I would like to say that everyone on social media who are celebrating her murder, who are belittling her, taking away her dignity, are social media terrorists. And 4 such social media terrorists are followed by none other than the Prime Minister himself. What does GVL Narasimha Rao have to speak about it? Does GVL Narasimha Rao stand with Dadhij when he calls her names? Does GVL Narasimha Rao stand with Ashish Mishra? Because the Prime Minister of India stands with Dadhij and Ashish Mishra. And several union ministers stand with them.
We don't write the tweets for everyone. I think everyone has their freedom of expression. We don't agree with a lot of those views. It doesn't mean that we have to really have to be arrested.
Celebrating her life.
What do you have to say about the killing of journalists in your own government?
I think a journalist who was set ablaze
and who in a time declaration blamed one of your leaders, Samajwadi Party.
It is a convenient argument. It is a convenient argument which has again been picked up by Mr. Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, by what their ally, the Congress party, had put on social media today. Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari. No, social media, so people having an opinion on social media is a problem, and you've called it social media terrorism. Sir, sir,
we are not responsible.
Sir, Ghanshyam Tiwari, Ghanshyam Tiwari,
we don't agree with all those opinions.
Ghanshyam Tiwari, just like you disagree with what people have put out on social media, they disagree with what you have to say. I am going to ask you questions on fact. What is written on social media? What is written on social media is vitriol, venom, perhaps the opinionated posts that do the society harm. But please tell me, where was your voice? Where was your voice and volume, sir, when 6 journalists were murdered between 2010 and 2014 in Uttar Pradesh? Where was your voice and volume where under the ages of UPA 2, 24 journalists were murdered between 2010 and 2014? I am asking you, why did your leader go and shake hands with the very government under whom 24 journalists were murdered in 4 years? Where was your voice and volume then, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari? Or do you also come up and have you also decided that I am going to raise my voice for the sake of only Gauri Lankesh because that fits my political narrative? Because I didn't see you raise your voice against Rajdev Ranjan. I didn't see you come out and say that you will not shake hands with a party that is in alliance with the party that orchestrated the murder of a journalist in Bihar. I didn't hear you say that. I would like your response, sir. Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, I would like your response on that, but I haven't heard from you. Now let me go across to Dr. Fuad Aleem. Dr. Fuad Aleem, thank you for your patience. Sir, where do you stand? Do you believe that the left, the right, the center should actually be pushing their respective narratives, or should they be coming out and saying we don't want a single journalist murdered in our country anymore?
No, absolutely. I fully agree with you. Why should journalists be murdered for any reason? And I think so today is the day where Gauri should be given an opportunity to speak. And I will read to you the 2 tweets around which the entire discussion is being constructed. And this is what she tweeted yesterday. Why do I feel that some of us are fighting between ourselves? ? We all know our biggest enemy. Can we all please concentrate on that? That's the first tweet. The second tweet is, okay, some of us commit mistakes like sharing fake posts. Let us warn each other then and not try to expose each other. Peace, comrades.
Yes.
Now, these are the 2 tweets on which now the discussion is being constructed, that the ultra left wing
it isn't. It isn't, Dr. Fuad Aleem.
Now, I leave it.
Sir, it isn't.
Up to the wisdom
Sir,
of your
I consider.
I'll leave it up to the
Sir,
wisdom.
please admit. Please state the tweets. But the reason and the grounds for the debate tonight are not that, sir. I would just like to mention that. The reason and the grounds for the debate are not that. So please do not draw that parallel. But please state what she has tweeted, because this was one of the first things we put out last evening too. I was part of the broadcast when we put these 2 tweets out too. Go ahead, sir, please.
Absolutely. Thank you. Now the second question that I'd like to say is that if you see the Kalburgi, Dhabolkar and the Pansare murders in normal criminal investigations, the modus operandi is very, very important. We see that these 3 murders, the modus operandi is very, very similar to the modus operandi adopted for murdering Gauri Lankesh. Now, this is one of the reasons why from the left we see some sinister organization that is responsible for all these things. We already do know that in the Dhabolkar, Pansare and the Kalburgi murders, the ballistic forensics have already established that there is some... Let me finish. Jerry Rao, please don't interrupt.
He heard you out. GVL Narasimha Rao.
I know you are...
He heard you out. No, sir, let him make his point and then you rebut him. Sir, let him complete. Let him complete. Founded, unfounded, please disagree with him, but let him complete his point.
That have already
let him complete his point and then you rebut, sir. Please, I request you.
The ballistic forensics have established that the weapons that were used in the Dhabolkar, Pansare and the Kalburgi murders are very, very similar, because the ballistics say that they were either fired from the same weapon or the bullets that were recovered of the same caliber having the same scratches on this. So that evidence is already there. So we already know these things. Now, the other common factor is that Kalburgi, Dabholkar, Pansare and Gauri, they belong to the same stream of thought. Now that's striking, because all four of them were representing the same stream of thought, and they were going into the history of the rich history of Hindu culture and looking at the diaspora, the plurality of Hindu culture. She was speaking of Basapna, who actually was somebody who what you call said that the poor in India, the lower castes, are the people who run society. He was a 12th century philosopher from the Hindu stream of thought. Now these are people. Kalburgi was saying exactly the same thing. He was actually interpreting the entire plurality of Hindu culture from a very, very broad aspect, and these are the people who are being identified and killed. And I think so if people of the same character are killed, then one can definitely have an idea as to who is upset with these people who
right.
have a
No, but the fact is, now Dr. Fuad Aleem, like you spin that beautiful narrative very smartly that you did. You're a master of words, sir, and you're gifted with you have the gift of the gab. But let me tell you, sir, very nicely you again spun a narrative which is very skewed, because sir, if they had a problem, she's been writing against them and having a position like that for more than a decade. And if that was the case, and if they were so upset with her, they would have bumped her off long back. They wouldn't have done it in 2017. So that is another counter argument to you. But the fact is that what you are talking about is now GVL Narasimha wants to rebut. No, he wants to rebut. Let him rebut. Let him rebut. Let him rebut. Let him rebut.
No, the timing may disagree, but thank you for accepting that this is a very, very concrete foundation and motive for murder.
According to...
No, GVL, please tell me, there is a time, you please, the straightforward question I would ask you to counter you, Dr. Fuad Aleem, who does it benefit the most to kill Gauri Lankesh now? You have the answer there, sir. Those who have jumped to spin the narrative against the right wing should be the first to be doubted. Why aren't you doing that? The left should be doubted first. The Congress should be doubted first, because they are the ones who are facing a whole
terrorist motive,
who are under the pressure, who are under pump. You are under the pump to defend Karnataka. It is the left also which has been on the spotlight. You please tell me, sir.
In case of Gauri, if we have to consider,
so that's what I'm saying. As a political analyst, you should ask this question. I'm just putting a counter. I'm not saying what I'm saying is right or what you're saying is right. I'm not. All these aspects are up in the air till the time the proof comes out. But when you spin one narrative, please be ready for the counter too, and consider the counter.
Anandji.
Yes, Alimuddin Khan. GVL, I'll come to you after Alimuddin Khan.
That's exactly, and the counter.
I'll come to you after Alimuddin Khan. He's not spoken, sir. 38 minutes into the debate. Yes, Alimuddin Khan.
Anandji, what happened? You have to go to the history of these murders in Karnataka. If you go to the Kalburgi, let me speak, Bhaiya. I heard you now. GVL, I heard you.
No, it's not GVL speaking. You're getting it wrong. It was Dr. Fuad Aleem who was speaking.
Said that why nude idols should be worshipped.
I'm not speaking.
So he spoke against Hinduism. He spoke against Hinduism, and Ram Sena, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Bajrang Dal were after his life.
Absolutely.
Number one.
Sir,
number two,
Alimuddin Khan. तो थोड़ा सा एक अल्प विराम लगाएं मेरी बात सुनने खासा बे please hear me out they spoke against radical right wing. They took on the caste system. They took on. You please tell me. No, you please tell me. अरे सुनिए तो सही. अरे सुनिए तो सही. आप 2 seconds सुन लीजिए. Just because they were open critics, is that proof enough that they were killed by the right wing? Just because she was an open critic, is that proof enough that she was killed by the right-wing radicals? You are okay to draw that cap? No. Then please, on that same narrative, sir, if I were to take that same logic to all the cases, all the charges where we have accused the Congress of misdemeanor and malpractice, will you then accept that the Congress is directly responsible and involved, or will you say prove it first?
Sir, an honest officer, Mr. B.K. Singh, I am
asking you this, sir. I am asking you this. So, are you trying to say that the 24 journalists who were killed, sir, 3 in 2011, 5 in 2012, 8 in 2013, 6 from Uttar Pradesh, 2 from Chhattisgarh, 6 from and 8 in 2014, 6 from UP and 2 from Bihar. Are you trying to say that the Congress party and the Samajwadi party is responsible for their deaths?
A separate thought of opposing BJP and its ideology of the RSS.
I am asking you if somebody who has a stated position of opposing somebody, please tell me, is that proof that they are the ones who orchestrated or conducted the killings? Then please tell me, sir, who killed Rajdev Ranjan? Are you then trying to say that yes, Shahabuddin killed him?
You are putting allegation, Anandji.
I am asking. It's the same, sir. I am using your logic, sir. I am using your logic. I am using your logic. I am using your logic. I am using your logic, Alimuddin Khan. I am using your logic. If you believe that Gauri Lankesh, MM Kalburgi, Narendra Dabolkar were all killed by right-wing radicals, are you accepting that your political ally in Bihar killed Rajdev Ranjan?
And I defend his statement. And I stand by his statement.
I am asking you.
Nation stand by his statement.
I am asking you by your own logic, sir. जो तुक आप भिड़ा रहे, जो लॉजिक आप भिड़ा रहे हैं, मैं अब उसी लॉजिक के बिना पे आपसे पूछ रहा हूं कि आप ये भी मान रहे हैं कि राजदेव रंजन का कत्ल शाहबुद्दीन ने कराया, क्योंकि राजदेव रंजन शाहबुद्दीन के सबसे बड़े क्रिटिक थे, या आप कहेंगे कि पुलिस को ये प्रूव करने दीजिए? क्या कहेंगे आप?
देखिए सर, don't go to Bihar to Calcutta.
Why?
Don't go to discuss.
Why? So this logic is applicable to Karnataka only.
Investigated by
your logic is applicable to Karnataka only.
Finally, it came.
I do not
apply, sir. Karnataka doesn't apply to Bihar.
It came that he committed suicide.
Now, please tell. No, you please tell me. Sir, that's exactly what I'm saying. Let's put out all the angles. Let's put out all the facts. Sir, a journalist will take a position based on facts. If the journalist believed ideologically leaned or leant towards the left, that is a journalist's prerogative, because the journalist has to put out facts or put out stories based on facts. The same journalist, Ms. Gauri Lankesh, also had a series of exposés and scathing remarks about D.K. Shivkumar. You know who is D.K. Shivkumar, sir? You know who is D.K. Shivkumar, sir?
And that's why they got.
You know who is D.K. Shivkumar? Sir, her scathing articles against D.K. Shivkumar are more recent than her articles against the BJP leaders.
Or they are lighter.
You please tell me.
I don't know. Investigation will tell, sir.
Sir.
But one thing I will request you and to the nation, that all media people should unite. All media people should unite for this case. At least you people
only this
do not
case.
divide yourself.
Only this case. Only this case. Why didn't you come out and say all media people should unite in the case of Rajdev Ranjan? Did you? How many times did you come out and stand out on the streets and shout out aloud that in the case of all the 24 journalists who have been murdered between 2010 and 2014, that India should unite against the Congress party, against the ruling disposition, because of the killings of these journalists and the voice of the fourth estate being muzzled?
He was speaking for the media.
I am speaking for the media.
By GVL.
I am speaking for the media. I am speaking, sir. Every journalist killed hurts us. Every life taken hurts us. I am being very straightforward.
They are intolerant.
And
do not
sir,
anybody, sir.
And just to put matters in perspective. Just to put matters in perspective, this is just information coming through. We'd like to put this out. Can we put out the killer details? The gruesome method and way this person got out and killed Gauri Lankesh. Can we put that out, please? This man steps out of the bike.
Sir, most of the
he appears from behind. He is captured on the CCTV footage, sir. He walks up to Gauri Lankesh. He tries to confront her. She tries to escape from him. He pulls out the gun and he shoots her point blank. पहली गोली सीधा छाती पे दागी, सर. दूसरी गोली एब्डोमेन पे दागी. पहली गोली सीधा एब्डोमेन पे लगी उनके. दूसरी गोली जब उनको लगी, वो गिर गई जमीन पर. उसने फिर भी उनको नहीं छोड़ा. एक और गोली दागी. 8 seconds. In 8 seconds, 7 rounds were fired, sir. 3 of them hit her and claimed her. That's what the CCTV footage proves.
One important
You please tell me, Alimuddin Khan, where is your anger in trying to say who under my government? Why is
has been taken?
No, please tell me, where is the anger? Where is the anger? CM Dhananjaya, I want to bring you back in, sir, because you are also representing the Chief Minister of the Congress. You're a member of the legal council, legal cell of the Karnataka Pradesh Congress. You please tell me, Mr. CM Dhananjaya, is it so easy under CM Siddaramaiah and the Congress rule? Alimuddin Khan, are you CM Dhananjaya? Alimuddin Khan, are you CM Dhananjaya? I'm speaking to him, sir. Let me ask him, is it so easy for anybody to walk up to somebody in Bengaluru and shoot them point blank and get away?
Sir, I highly condemn the incident, killing of any journalist or a progressive thinkers. I highly condemn that, such incident, whether in the Karnataka or in any other state in the country.
You tell me, CM Dhananjaya, your Chief Minister says this is an organized crime. So is organized crime rampant in Karnataka under your government?
No, it is definitely no.
Is organized crime rampant in Karnataka under your government? How long before you? How much time will you take?
No, allow me
you
to
give me a time frame, sir. When will you catch Gauri Lankesh's killers?
What I like to say, what the incident
when will you catch Gauri Lankesh's killers?
The similar way is
when will you catch Gauri Lankesh's killers? You give me a time, sir.
No, we highly condemn that.
Don't condemn it. Tell me the time, sir.
And
you have a problem and other people do Kadi Ninda, so you also don't do it. You tell me a time frame, sir.
Sir,
you tell me a time frame.
A similar case has taken
you have got 33 CCTV cameras. You've got somebody who's an eyewitness. You've got intelligence. You tell me.
In Maharashtra,
how long before you nail the killers?
Very shortly will be taken.
How long before you nail the killers? Mr. Vinod Sharma.
We will
sir,
see that the culprit will be shortly.
They will not commit to a time, sir. They will not commit to a time. Another journalist has been killed.
Shortly.
They will not commit to a time. Sir, I want to end with you. You're a senior journalist. You're representing the fraternity. I want to end the debate with you. So the final
Alimuddin साहब बख्श दे हमको. अरे सर छोड़ दीजिए. आप पे हमको भरोसा नहीं है और ना बीजेपी पर भरोसा है. मैं आपको सच बात बताता हूं. निर्भीक पत्रकारिता, फ्री प्रेस किसी भी पॉलिटिशियन या पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को अच्छी नहीं लगती, किसी भी इस्टेब्लिशमेंट को अच्छी नहीं लगती. सच कोई नहीं सुनता. आप समझिए इस बात को. कम से कम आपसे एक निवेदन है, इफ यू वांट द इंडियन डेमोक्रेसी टू रिमेन एज स्ट्रांग एज इट इज टुडे, स्टॉप फाइटिंग अमंग्स योरसेल्व्स. कम टू एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट लीव द प्रेस असाइड, बिकॉज दे आर द पीपल हु फ्लैग इश्यूज, हु अलर्ट यू.
Yes.
A strong press makes a government better. A strong opposition also makes a government better. But you're not willing to be a strong opposition, and the government is not willing to listen to you.
Very rightly said, sir.
Government is not willing to listen to you. So let us play our role and keep us alive.
Yes.
Keep thought alive in this country.
Sir,
it is
very
unfortunate that we are trying to crack the case here.
Sir, the only thing we are going to now do is ask Siddaramaiah and Rahul Gandhi to commit to a time frame. Let them show that they can actually crack and stand up for journalists and the fourth pillar.